Muscle testing is something that I have been using my entire career of 36 years in practice, and it is something that I don't know how doctors get by without. It is a diagnostic tool that gives you so many insights into the person's health that I couldn't get by without it. It really, really does help immensely. And the reason I wanted to do this video is to give you some insights about some of the science behind it. I'm going to be producing a couple videos with patients here, and they're going to be in a situation where we're going to be talking about what kind of problems they're having, like a consultation, and we're going to be doing some blood tests and a couple other tests. But one of the types of testing that I'm going to be doing is called muscle testing, or some call it applied kinesiology. I like that term, but I don't use it much because people are like, what? They don't know what I'm talking about. Or they call it muscle response testing. There's a number of different phrases, but basically what it is you find a muscle that locks, and then you touch an acupuncture point on the body or do some other test on the body, and that causes the muscle to unlock. This type of test is a little bit odd, and it is something that I wanted to get into a little bit more information about and talk about kind of the science behind it. It's normal to be kind of curious, what is that? Or even really like skeptical, and there's still lots of skeptics that relate to this type of method. And this is why I'm doing this video, so you could reference it and take a look at this and see what kind of science is behind it and do your own research on it. So anyway, this type of testing treats your brain kind of like a computer. And just like you're typing on the computer and you hit K, what shows up on the screen? A K, of course, every single time. And the body has acupuncture points that are very similar. There's an acupuncture point here for liver, and it's called the liver alarm point. And every time you touch this, the body thinks liver. Same with a number of other points. Every organ in your body has acupuncture points that have been associated with it. Anyway, the system is kind of a window. Muscle testing is kind of a window into this acupuncture system. It's a window into the body's control and coordination system that kind of works behind the scenes. And it really does give us a lot of insights as to what's going on with a person and what is needed to help them. When you eat food, you chew it up and then you swallow it, and nobody at that point is like, oh, I need to think about how to digest this food, and I need to think about how much stomach acid it needs, and I need to think about the enzymes that are needed for that. You just ignore it, and your body does all of that automatically for you. The same sort of thing if you get like a cut. You aren't like willing it to heal and willing the white blood cells to go and clean up all the debris and willing the collagen to form scar tissue. It is done for you automatically. But there's a system in your body, the system kind of behind the scenes that does all this stuff for you. Thank heavens, it's our innate intelligence. And this kind of testing is kind of like tapping into that intelligence and asking it, hey, how's your liver? How's the gallbladder? How's the heart? This sort of thing. And if you're not having any symptoms, and I've seen this thousands of times, oh, I'm fine, but I test and the person goes weak, that's the body saying, well, he may feel fine, but there's something going on there, something, support is needed in that area. So anyway, this method, like I said, has a lot of different names: applied kinesiology, muscle testing, acupuncture testing, muscle response testing. But it was all started by a guy named George Goodheart, and he called it applied kinesiology. George Goodheart discovered this in the 60s, I believe it was 1964, and it's really grown and developed and is now practiced all over the world by many, many different types of doctors, chiropractors, dentists, medical doctors, doctors of osteopathy, acupuncturists, all sorts of types of doctors do this kind of testing. And it is really becoming far more mainstream. And again, I would encourage you to look into it. But it's a major diagnostic advance, really. This is a quote from George Goodhart. Kinesiology's major advance is that it allows the body to tell us what needs to be done. The body becomes our chief diagnostic and therapeutic tool in this system where we ask the body a question, just like I was talking about earlier, and the body gives us an answer. Muscle testing is really an art, and it does take a lot of practice to get it right, but once you really get this system down, it can give you so much information about your health and that sort of thing. He calls it applied kinesiology. He found that certain acupuncture points that have been identified for thousands of years, they've been around forever, have specific meanings to the brain, just like I was talking about with liver. If there's a problem associated with the structures or tissues or systems, a previously strong muscle, it's strong, it's tight, it will go weak. Now, muscle testing isn't really about strength, it's more about a locking of the muscle. If it were just about strength, then, every little old lady and child would test that they're weak compared to some strong person. So it's not really a test about that. It's really a test of, does the muscle lock in place versus not, versus unlock. This information can be used to improve your health in areas like fertility, in areas like your liver, your gut health, your brain health. All sorts of different things can be tested and helped with this kind of testing. Dr. Goodhart's insights have been added subsequently and expanded upon, and now there's volumes of books on this subject and how to do different types of tests. We're just kind of scratching the surface on giving some of the science behind it. The body is really, more than anything else, an electrical system. There is an electric charge across the membrane of every cell in your body. In 1963, the heart's electromagnetic field was first tested and first found, detected by a pair named Buell and McPhee at Syracuse University in New York. Since then, they've found there's electromagnetic fields around the brain, around the entire body. All of the cells and tissues of the body kind of combine to make this electric field. And if it is thrown off in some way, then it can cause lots of problems. And applied kinesiology is about finding and fixing those issues. It's made up of all the body parts combined together, and it's basically the acupuncture system of the body seen through electromagnetics. A really great book on this and some of the studies that have been done on it and that prove the electromagnetic field is there and how it works were compiled in a book by Dr. Oshman. He has a PhD. He's written a number of books and a lot of articles, but this is a quote from his book, really a great book, and an easy read too. It has lots of studies in it, but it's very easy to read. He says, the use of fields for diagnosis is based on the premise that every physiological process in the body has an electrical counterpart. I believe in the future we'll be in a situation where we can actually see these electric fields with maybe a camera or something like that, but the best instrument that we have currently to tell how a person's electromagnetic field is functioning is that person themselves. If you can affect their electromagnetic field positively or negatively, this kind of testing will pick that up and you can tell what's needed. Hans Selye, you probably have never heard of this guy, but you've heard of what he came up with. He is a researcher on stress, and he was actually the first person to use the term stress as we know it today, as we use it today. He coined the term stress, and he found that the body responds to stress in almost exactly the same way, no matter how big the stress is, how small the stress is, no matter what the stress is, the body responds in almost exactly the same way. First, there's some kind of stress that is imposed upon the body. The stressor occurs here, and the body says, oh, this is a stress to me. And then the body rallies basically and works on resisting that stress in some way. And eventually, and it depends on how significant the stress is and how long it lasts, but eventually you either overcome the stress or the stress puts you into a state of exhaustion. And there's all sorts of things that you can do to help this, but the reason I bring it up now is this tiny little area, which usually lasts just a couple seconds, is when you muscle test, when the body has responded to stress. If there's no stress, let's take the liver as an example again. I touch the liver acupuncture point. If the body's like, oh yeah, that's not good, then the body says, oh, that's a stress to me. But if I touch the liver acupuncture point, the liver's healthy as can be, well, there's no stress there. The body's like, oh, I'm fine. It doesn't identify that as a stress area, an area that's stressed in the body. Accurate muscle testing occurs immediately after the stress is applied, and the stress can be something extremely minor, I'm touching an acupuncture point, or something extremely major, like I was just involved in an automobile accident, or I broke a leg, or something really horrible like that. Either way, the body responds the same way. But how does a test in one area affect the other? How does a test like, oh, I'm touching the liver acupuncture point, how does that affect this arm? Well, if it affects one area of the electromagnetic field, it affects the entire field at once and immediately. It's really an amazing system how it works. Any stress in the body, it affects your entire body, all at the same time on energetic, electromagnetic level. Muscle testing does have its detractors, however, and you can understand why. It's kind of not a system that is mainstream, for sure. You know, you go to your doctor and you get a blood test and he says, oh, it looks like it's this or that, and here's your prescription. And we do all that stuff. I do that kind of thing. I have people come in, I talk to them, I do blood tests on people on a regular basis, and then I add this in with it and see how much of it matches, and so many times it matches. It's amazing. But perform a Google search. You'll find a variety of different opinions on this. Some call it quackery. There's lots of ads that will target you after this because they want you to come as, hey, I'm a doctor who uses this and you should come see me because you searched it. But I invite you to be the judge. Over the next several months, I'm going to be doing videos on a number of people. If you'd like to be one of them, contact me. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. It's drmasters@accusmart.com. But anyway, I'm going to be doing evaluations on a number of different people. This will be part of that, and I did feel like it required a little bit of explanation, so I wanted to produce this video and give you some information so you could kind of have a heads up on things. Muscle testing, it unlocks worlds that you can never even imagine. Your nutritional health, your emotional health, this is a huge area, and it's even hidden emotions that can be detected. Eliminate toxins from the body, identify and eliminate infections, and a lot of other aspects to health that a lot of people haven't even considered. I'm looking forward to helping people on their health journey using this, and hope you come along and kind of watch some of those videos and hopefully gain information on how it can help you as well. So thanks for listening.